I had always considered myself to be a devout wife and mother. Although my marriage was not flawless, it was consistent, consisting of a well-established pattern of predictable days and tranquil evenings. My spouse and I had established a life of contentment and complacency. The flame that had once fueled our enthusiasm had waned to a soft, unspoken distance. I convinced myself that it was a natural aspect of aging together as Mrs. Carter observed Ethan and his companions by the pool. A tall, sandy-haired young man with an easygoing appeal, Ryan, is the object of her gaze. Ryan was an acquaintance of Ethan's. There was a calm magnetism about him that I was unable to articulate. He was respectful, courteous, and exuded a gentle yet persuasive confidence. He was scarcely older than Ethan at 24, yet his presence roused emotions in me that I had long believed were dormant. Ryan emerges from the pool, shirtless and dripping damp, into the kitchen. He proposes to assist Mrs. Carter with the refreshments. Ryan's voice was gentle. "Dear Mrs. Carter, are you in need of assistance?" Mrs. Carter responded with apprehension, "No, Ryan. It is recommended that you return and savor the experience." Ryan maintains an intense gaze. "Ryan, you consistently demonstrate exceptional compassion toward all individuals. You are also entitled to a moment of tranquility." Mrs. Carter chuckles nervously, but his words remain in her memory. Her conflicted expression is the focal point of the camera. I was taken aback by his words. The compliment was not the only thing that impressed me, it was the manner in which he delivered it, as if he recognized a latent aspect of me that had been concealed for years. Montage. Ryan discovers justifications to remain in close proximity to Mrs. Carter over the course of the subsequent weeks. Tension between them is fostered by stolen glimpses and fleeting smiles. I endeavored to persuade myself that it was an innocuous crush, a brief infatuation. However, I was aware of a deep-seated yearning for something more, a rekindling of a passion that had not been experienced in years. Ethan is out with companions one evening. The residence is unusually tranquil. Ryan and Mrs. Carter are the only individuals in the kitchen. Ryan hesitated. "Mrs. Carter, I understand that this may seem unusual, but I perceive something in you that is alive and vibrant. You have contributed significantly to the lives of those in your vicinity. Have you ever considered the experience of living for oneself, even for a brief period?" Mrs. Carter is evidently distressed. He invoked memories of aspirations that had been abandoned for an extended period. I recalled the woman I was once, a woman who believed in the excitement of possibility and the fervor of adventure. Throughout the years, I had surrendered my identity to the duties of wife and mother. However, in his genuine gaze, I observed a reflection of the individual I had been and the individual I could still become. Ryan and Mrs. Carter conversed discreetly in the living room. Their vulnerability and connection are captured by the camera. We conversed that evening as the house fell into a state of tranquility. In a space where vulnerability replaced routine, we shared our fears and aspirations, two souls meeting. I began to comprehend that it was never too late to rekindle the flame that had once ignited my heart. Montage. Mrs. Carter proceeds to grapple with her emotions over the subsequent days. She observes Ryan from a distance, divided between duty and desire. I was entangled in a precarious equilibrium in the days that followed. I treasured the affection I felt for my family, but I also recognized the intrinsic truth that I was entitled to be respected, acknowledged, and adored for my unique self. In the laundry room, Mrs. Carter and Ryan engage in an ardent kiss. The camera captures the intensity of the moment, and it then transitions to Mrs. Carter's conflicted expression. Something within me was roused by that kiss. A ferocious, all-consuming fire that rendered me feeling complete and alive. However, it also brought with it the burden of remorse, shame, and the weight of the repercussions. Her spouse, Steve, is asleep in bed next to Mrs. Carter. She gazes at the ceiling, her mind in a state of agitation. Although I was apprehensive about the repercussions, I yearned for the sensation of forbidden passion that revived aspirations that I had believed were lost forever. Monta. Mrs. Carter and Ryan's bond is fortifying as they continue to exchange private moments. Their fleeting touches and longing eyes are captured by the camera. Ryan engaged in a silent dialogue with each encounter, which consisted of glances and half-spoken phrases. I questioned every aspect. Was it a form of liberation or betrayal? Is it possible for me to sacrifice the life I knew in order to experience a sense of rebirth? Standing alone in the kitchen, Mrs. Carter gazes out the window. The camera focuses on her visage as tears well up in her eyes. I was torn between the allure of a new experience and the comfort of my well-worn existence, which offered the opportunity to reclaim aspects of myself that had been long suppressed under the shackles of being a wife and mother. The veranda is occupied by Mrs. Carter, who is absorbed in contemplation as the sun sets. Quiet suburban communities are depicted as the camera pans out. A new narrative was unfolding in that small, apparently ordinary house, a narrative of rediscovery, of discovering beauty and vulnerability, and of the courage to open one's heart to the unexpected. I was aware that I had awoken to a life that was brimming with potential, a life in which even the most quiet moments could ignite a flame that burned with the intensity of 1,000 untold aspirations, despite the uncertainty of the future. Like what you heard. There's plenty more heartbreak and secrets to come. Hit like, subscribe, and stay curious with Tangled Truths.